plead the fifth. You fucking idiot.
You serious with me?
Yes, sir.
This will not go over well.
In most cases, suspects aren't aware of their rights and corrupt cops tend to take advantage of this. But what if they encounter a genius lawyer who's more educated on the law than they are?
So therefore you have no right to detain me or try to ID me.
That might be what you think.
That's what I know.
Beginning with the case of Joshua Lloyd, who was geocaching in Phoenix, Arizona in July 2022. Geocaching is an activity where people hide physical containers, known as caches, in various locations worldwide, and others solve puzzles to find them. Joshua was searching on the side of a public road, but it appears someone wasn't pleased at all about this. Take a look.
Oh, hold on. We got the cops.
It could be private property.
Could be, but if there was, I do believe there would be a sign posted somewhere, right?
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean...
Somebody called on you.
That's nice.
Okay. Is that your car?
That is my car.
Okay. Well, if it is public...
I mean, I would figure it's public. You have electric access here.
Is there anybody in the car?
No. Just me. But if you want to go check, go ahead, go check.
Can I get your permission to do anything else?
No.
Do I need your permission?
No,
Do I
because
need your permission to check the car?
you would need my permission to go inside the car.
No, but you just said if you want to go check if there's someone else in the car. Do I
Oh,
need
yeah, go check and you can go look in and see if...
Go ahead. Do I need you to tell me to go ahead to do it, or can I do it on my own?
It appears the officer is having a bad day. He quickly starts an argument over nothing. Although he is correct that he doesn't need permission to look inside the car, Joshua is simply trying to be courteous. There's no reason for the officer to complicate things. His outburst seems driven by insecurity, and this behavior persists throughout the footage.
Well, I mean, you could do it on your own. You can do a plain view search.
Okay, good. Just making sure I thought you were under the impression you had to give me permission.
To go inside the car, you need permission.
Not necessarily.
What do you mean, not necessarily? I mean, would you guys like my name? I'll give you my name. You don't have to run the plate for it because my name's not on the plate.
What's your name?
My name is Josh.
Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Josh what?
Lloyd. L-L-O-Y-D.
L-L-O-Y-D?
Correct.
Is it Josh or Joshua?
It's Joshua.
Joshua Lloyd. Huh? Joshua.
You're not towing my car.
We may have to tow it. It's not registered to him. It's registered to a female. It's it's left on the roadway running. I'm not going to leave it here.
Oh.
Just running.
Are you serious? Wow. Not even going to question me on who it's registered to? Would you like the insurance and registration?
No, you're not driving it. Why would I ask for that?
It seems the officer is overreacting, making the situation more complicated than it needs to be. While it might look suspicious that the car is registered to someone else and that Josh has been standing near a wall for 30 minutes, Josh has a reasonable explanation. If the cops took the time to ask, they would understand. Instead, the officer chooses to tow the car and contact the owner, ignoring Josh, who is clearly offering to explain everything.
I'm going to try and get a hold of the owner, see if they know where the car is. Otherwise,
she'll tell you that her son-in-law has it. Gonna tow my car. You're gonna let him act like that? For real? You're gonna let him act like that? Just because I'm standing over here next to a wall? And you guys haven't even asked me what I'm doing. I even turned around, I gave you the thumbs up. He comes out all hard ass. Why? What's the point? I'm not trying to catch you in anything, man. I mean, asking a simple question.
The smirk on the other cop's face speaks volumes. He knows his partner's behavior is unreasonable and quite odd, but he can't openly criticize him.
Okay. Have you been allowed to use the car?
I live with her, yes, and I'm allowed to use the car, hence the reason why I have it.
All right, well, we're going to do some research, find out whose property that is. You got your name, your information. If it turns out that it is private property, then I'll author a report for trespassing.
I don't think it would be private property because what I was doing was a public event. So you guys never even asked me.
Listen to your statement. I don't think. That's why I'm going to find out for sure whose property.
Okay, you
belongs to.
go ahead for sure.
Okay, well, I'll do it later. Again, here's the thing. I don't need your permission to check out whose property it is, but I appreciate you giving me the go-ahead. We'll look into that.
Can I have your name and badge number, please? Your card?
8632.
Your card, please. I have a bad memory.
8632.
8632.
You're recording it.
Okay. Can I have your name and badge number, please?
88.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
The second cop acts like he's humoring a child, subtly telling Josh to just go along with his partner. Meanwhile, the first officer informs Josh that they're going to verify if the area is private property. Even if it is, proving trespassing would be difficult. The footage shows that Josh was next to a public sidewalk, with no signs indicating private property. Without proper signage, Josh couldn't have known he was trespassing, which is necessary to meet the legal definition. Before they leave, Josh has one last thing to say to the officers.
Hey, Josh, but I would do some further research before you go on a property. Find out.
You know, hold on. Before you go and give me the lecture, how about this? Before you come up all hard ass on somebody, how about before you come up all hard ass on somebody, you ask them what they're doing?
Josh, just tell me what you're trying to make known to me.
You could ask me simply at the very beginning, very nicely, hey, what are you doing?
Josh, do the research and find out whose property you're on, because you may be breaking the law.
It's public property, I can tell you that.
You're stating that as a fact.
I am. I'm stating it as a fact because I like being with you guys.
Well, now you're using more profanity.
I can use profanity. It's the First Amendment.
No, you can't.
It's the First Amendment. You cannot restrict my speech. I can use it to emphasize my sentences. One man's curse word is another man's lyric.
Josh articulates his points flawlessly and is entirely correct throughout the interaction. He provided everything the officers requested, stayed polite for most of the conversation, and demonstrated a thorough understanding of the law. Despite this, he was treated unfairly by an officer who clearly didn't know what he was talking about. Josh was right to assert his free speech rights. To further illustrate this, let's examine the case of Tom, a teenager who expertly outwitted two officers during a traffic stop, showing their lack of legal knowledge.
That's not a crime!
Yes, it is.
Says who?
Says me.
Says who?
Turn around. Come on.
Bro, that is not a crime!
This man was strolling down the side of the road when a police officer drove by. As they passed, the man flipped him off, which broke no laws. However, the cops took it personally and decided to take action anyway.
Why you giving me the finger?
What?
What's your problem?
What?
Why you giving me the finger?
I'm walking away.
Huh?
Am I free to go?
Why you giving me the finger?
Am I free to go?
No. Come
For
here.
what reason?
The man, named Tom, gets pulled over for allegedly flipping off an officer. Right after being stopped, Tom asks if he is free to leave, and if not, why he is being detained. As expected, the officer cannot give a clear answer to either of these legitimate questions.
Why you giving me the finger?
I'm free to go. Am I free to go?
What's your problem?
Am I free to go?
No.
What, do you have a problem?
No.
Do you have a problem?
No.
You don't have a problem, then I can leave.
Why you giving me the finger when you're walking? Huh? Come here.
I'm free to go.
No,
Walk
you're
the walk.
not. Get over here.
What?
Get over here.
Why?
Because.
Is that a lawful order?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Because you're giving me the finger.
That's legal.
No, it isn't.
Says who?
Says it all.
Pull up the law.
Huh?
Pull up the law.
What's your name?
What's the law?
What's your
What's
name?
The law?
What's your name? How
What's the
old
law?
are you?
Conveniently, the law on this matter is clear. Unsurprisingly, contempt to cop or showing disrespect to police often leads to unlawful arrests. However, it is well established that swearing or making non-threatening gestures at a cop is entirely legal across the US. The First Amendment protects freedom of speech, and courts have ruled that giving the finger is a form of protected speech. In a 2000 case with similar circumstances, the court explicitly stated that flipping off an officer is protected under the First Amendment. This means Tom is fully within his rights to make the gesture. Unfortunately, the situation escalates, and more words are exchanged.
Have a good one.
Pig. Whatever.
You.
What?
You heard me.
Come here.
I'm afraid of you?
Come here. Get over here. Get over here.
What?
Get over here.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yeah, you are. You just cursed me off.
That's not a crime.
Yes, it is.
Says who?
Says me.
Says who?
Turn around. Come on.
Bro, that is not a crime.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Why are you cursing me?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
Help! Help!
No help.
Help! Help!
Yo.
Help!
At this point, the officer turns off his body camera, which is both illegal and highly inappropriate, especially when dealing with a civilian calling for help. The officer then claims that Tom's recent use of expletives justifies the arrest. However, Tom's speech is fully protected by the First Amendment. The law only excludes fighting words, those intended to provoke immediate violence or directly threaten physical harm. Tom's remarks do not fall into these categories. As additional officers arrive, the initial officer starts to realize he may be in the wrong.
Said you're being detained.
Because you're acting strange.
What? That's not legal.
It is legal. He's allowed to
Who is
detain
this
you
kid?
until he performs his
So what am I
investigation.
doing though? What am I doing that made him detain me? What legal right?
Every time I rode by him twice, he shot me the finger. So I turned around and said, "Well, you're
Is that a crime?
problem?"
Hold
Then
on
he
a
tells
second.
me
That's not a
This is
crime.
causing public disturbance.
And then he
That's
tells
not-
me to
no, that's not a
turn
crime.
F off, big.
Yeah. Oh, big. That's not a crime. That's not a crime. He's looking at you because he's like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Because it's not a crime. I know my rights. What legal reason am I being detained for? I need to know that. Legally, I need to know that.
The officers are now insisting that Tom must identify himself since he is being detained, even though they haven't given a valid reason for his detention. While it's generally true that identification is required during an arrest, in New Jersey, a person who is detained but not suspected of a motor vehicle offense can refuse to provide ID. The officers seem unaware of this and are now confused about the reason for detaining him in the first place.
Why are you
Shooting me the finger.
Why are you?
Is that illegal?
Why are you
Cursing at
flipping the bird? Yes, it is. It's causing a public disturbance and a public alarm if you are cursing
So
in
a
public.
single one.
So when you are cursing in public, you are causing a public disturbance. You're being a nuisance to the public.
In what way? When he was driving past? That's singular. Well, I'd like to see you guys prove it in court.
It's called causing a public disturbance.
I know
okay,
the law.
By being a nuisance.
I know the
okay?
law.
All right. So at that point, what he is doing is he's not saying you're being charged with anything. At that
I'm
point,
just
he's
figuring out
detaining
what's
you
wrong with you.
to make
What's
sure that
going
there
on?
is nothing
Make
wrong.
sure you're
What-
okay.
what
Make sure that
reason-
you're okay.
The officers are now desperately trying to justify their actions, claiming this is a welfare check and that Tom's middle finger was a distress signal. However, a 2013 court case addressed a similar situation. In that case, a cop pulled over a man for giving him the finger, claiming he thought it was a call for help. The court ruled that this ancient gesture of insult is not the basis for reasonable suspicion of a traffic violation or impending criminal activity. Given this precedent, it is highly likely that the court would find the officer's claim here to be false, even without body cam footage. The most revealing part of this investigation is watching the officer's face as he tries to extricate himself from the situation he's created.
By you cursing and using vulgar gestures, is
So what's
causing
the
a
First
public.
Amendment for?
It's causing a public disturbance.
What's
and a
the
public
First
alarm.
Amendment for?
Okay. The First Amendment is for your freedom of speech. Okay.
Okay.
What does that have to do with?
Was I making
using
a call to
gestures?
action? Was I making a call to action? Was I? Was I like
When you were
threatening
acting-
you in any way?
what are you
Did I
talking
threaten
about?
you?
Do you
You
understand?
know what a
that
call to action is?
Do you understand that you're
Well,
acting?
Is that a call to action? Am I
you-
calling for an action to be done against you?
Do
No.
you understand that
bringing
it is?
attention to
Listen,
yourself and
listen,
getting
listen, listen.
That's not legal.
It's behavior that's out of the ordinary.
I understand how it works.
So
but
therefore,
legally,
he
it
stopped
would not
to talk
hold.
to you. Clearly, if he stopped all the way back there, I'm assuming you guys were back there and you just
We
continued
went
to
back
walk.
a bit further
you
back.
just
And you
continued
ran
to
away
walk.
from me.
I wasn't running. I told you that I was free to go, and you all
I
of a
said
sudden.
stop, and you ran down here. That's
I
why
wasn't
ran
running. I
once-
was walking.
once he
So
gives an order
let's
for you
be
to
honest
stop-
here. I plead the fifth. You fucking idiot.
The argument continues for a few more minutes until Tom finally gives in and hands over his ID. After this, he is told he's free to leave. It's important to remember that he was not legally required to identify himself, but this was the only way to get the officers to let him go. Tom also informed the officers that he intended to pursue legal action. Though little information about this is publicly available, both of these cases highlight individuals who knew the law well and defended their rights against corrupt officers. But that's nothing compared to our next case. You don't want to miss this. Meet Richard McNair. Richard was initially arrested for shooting 2 men during a house robbery in North Dakota. One victim was severely injured, while the other died at the scene. Richard received 3 life sentences for his crimes but had no intention of serving them. In 2006, he orchestrated an escape by hiding in a pile of mail, allowing himself to be carried out of the prison. However, just hours later, he was apprehended by police while jogging away from the facility.
Live around here, boy? Where you live at?
Down the road by Pineville.
Pineville?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you have any form of identification on you?
No, man.
What's your name?
Robert Jones.
Robert Jones?
Uh-huh.
Richard appears calm, cool, and collected while speaking with the officer, using the innocent alias of Robert Jones. He claims that he is simply out for a jog near where he is stationed for work.
No, that's not the problem right now. What's your address?
I don't have an address. I'm at the hotel. We're working on houses and stuff like that, the roofing.
What is? We got an escapee.
Oh, shit. Where from?
Prison.
There's a prison here?
Yeah.
Richard must have thought the jig was up, but he remains calm and plays it cool. He gives simple, neutral responses and maintains a relaxed stance to avoid appearing uneasy. The officer radios in for a detailed description of the fugitive and tries to match it to Richard.
How old is your guy? You're how old?
50. I was born in 56.
He was born in 56. 58. What eyes you got?
Green, well, kind of a turquoise blue.
Turquoise blue?
Most people in this situation would become restless and give short, closed-off responses due to nerves. But Richard manages to remain composed, providing full answers to every question. He even jokes with the officer, gradually trying to convince him that he is just an ordinary guy with nothing to hide.
You know the bad thing about it?
What's that?
You're matching up to him.
Well, that sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't even know the address. We just got into town about a week ago, and he dropped me off to jog. I always jog about 12 miles a day.
Where did he drop you off at?
Up there on that road by, there's some construction going on up there, some houses. And he dropped me off, and he'll be back to the hotel in about probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Where are you from?
We're originally Dallas, Texas.
And what's your name again?
Jimmy Jones.
This should have been the turning point for Richard. He provided a completely different name than his original alias, but the officer overlooked the discrepancy and continued without questioning it.
Okay, Walmart's right there. Go right at Walmart, and there's a road. Is it 165?
Right.
165 that goes south, and we're about 2 blocks. Tiny hotel. I mean, it's clean, but it's family owned.
Little tiny hotel.
Yeah, you know, like a motel deal. You can park up there. And there's we've got a camper, and we were trying to get into the camper place, but we didn't get into the camper place. I promise you, I'm not no damn Chris and escapee.
You'd have done run by now. You know that yourself. For an hour.
Sir, I'm sorry to have to hold you up, but
All right, no, I'm just doing my job, man.
I know you are.
But yeah, just be careful. You'll probably get stopped again. Okay.
Can you write down your phone number, your cell phone number, so I can have whoever call you?
Just call. You got a cell phone with you?
No, hell no. I don't even have a cell phone or anything.
Just call 911. Is all you got to do. They'll get a hold of us.
All righty.
That's our quick line there.
Have a good day now.
Be careful, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.
This was the last time Richard McNair was seen for 18 months. During his time on the run, he traveled from Louisiana to Canada using stolen cars and supplies. He even attempted to buy a property and settle down in Canada. In October 2007, Richard was finally apprehended in New Brunswick after being identified driving a stolen vehicle miles from where it was reported missing. Despite being a murderer, Richard managed to outsmart the police and evade capture for a year and a half. The officer who initially let him slip must have felt embarrassed, but perhaps not as much as embarrassed as this next officer who pulled over a state senator falsely accusing him of having an expired tag. The senator found the traffic stop ludicrous and told the officer he would report him to his superior. Watch this.
I pay my bills.
Okay.
I'm a state senator. I'm not stupid.
Our policy, Over 30 days of expiration, we have to tow the vehicle.
You serious with me?
Yes, sir.
The officer was persistent, telling the senator the car would be impounded.
I'll call it. I won't call Eric Dial, but I'll call the rest of them. But I pay my bills. This will not go over well.
I can tell you, you can talk to everybody at the department. The car's going to be impounded.
Because I'm going to take this and I'm going to the state and we're going to change the law.
The senator wasn't happy and promised the officer not only will he be in trouble with his superior, but the state as well.
In the land of the free and the home of the brave, you know what? This is a crime.
You're not the only one this happens to. So,
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying
it's not
the
like
law,
we're picking on you.
The law's wrong in that respect.
Okay.
And I'm not mad at
Well, that's
you.
why I mean we can't change the law. I mean,
Well, I can't.
But that's you.
The senator may have put the officer in his place, but the next lawyer wasn't so lucky.
Can I ask, is there a specific reason for your...
Well, there's always a reason, but I'm not going to share it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be on my way. Have a good day.
You're going to stay here for a second.
Are you detaining me?
Yes.
Ryan Swanson was stopped by a police sergeant in Hibbing, Minnesota. Now, Swanson was just filming some government buildings out in the open on public property. Totally legal. While it's fair for a police officer to ask for ID sometimes, they can't just demand it without a good reason to believe you've done something wrong. That's against the law, clear and cut.
I have a very legitimate reason. Can you explain that to me? Or you don't care to explain that? Can I see your identification, please?
Have I broken a law?
I don't know, but people take things very seriously when it comes to public safety and military safety, and if you've been walking around the property photographing things, I don't think it's unreasonable for me to ask. You asked me a few questions when I got here for my name and badge number, and I was more than willing to provide that with you.
Which I believe you're required to do.
Yep.
I'm not.
Well, if we have reason to believe you may be involved in criminal activity,
you need a reasonable, articulable suspicion that I am, or I'm about to commit a crime to be able to detain me.
So what are you up to?
So what am I being detained for?
For identification purposes.
In order to ID me, I had to have broken a law.
But Swanson's just exercising his rights, and Sergeant Everett calls for backup instead of just letting him go. And when the extra officers show up, Everett gets all aggressive on Swanson.
This activity on 23rd Street, Brooklyn Drive, all with one male. Okay, so here's the thing. You can tell me who you are, and I can have you on your way very easily. And you can
Here's the thing, at this point in time, it's an illegal detainment because I have broken no law. Okay. I'm in the process of breaking no law, and I intend to break no law. You have no suspicions of any of those three. Okay. So therefore, you have no right to detain me or try to ID me.
That might be what you think.
That's what I know.
But you can tell me, and I can get you on your way.
Am I being detained, or am I free to go?
No, you are not free to go.
Okay. I exercise my right to remain silent. I'm exercising my right to remain silent.
Set your cameras down.
No. I have every right to record.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now, and you are going to follow my commands or you're going to go to jail. I'm going to detain you in handcuffs.
Are you his supervisor?
Nope, I'm the supervisor.
Can I get your supervisor,
Turn around,
please?
Put your hands behind your back.
This is an illegal detainment. Go to the ground. Put it down.
Comply.
I'm not resisting.
Resisting. Yes, you are.
I am not at all. Nothing is tense. I'm completely loose.
You got his arm behind his back?
Yep.
I'm coming back. Sure hope you didn't damage your cameras.
See, that part where the sergeant laughs at Swanson's broken camera? That's messed up, because the whole thing is illegal if there's no crime to begin with. You can't arrest someone for not following an officer's orders unless those orders are part of a real investigation. This wasn't a real investigation, and yet the Hibbing police just kept making things worse. So they detain Swanson illegally, mess up his camera, and then dig through his stuff. Then they throw him in jail for supposedly obstructing them, even though they were the ones acting out of line. Thankfully, the charges against Swanson got dropped, and when he sued the police department for wrongfully arresting him, he won. This whole mess cost the city of Hibbing a ton of money, like $36,000 just for the settlement, plus a bunch more on lawyers and court stuff. And guess what? There's no sign that Sergeant Everett faced any consequences for his actions. So major props to Ryan Swanson, the good citizen of the North. He knew his rights, stood up to those who were overstepping their bounds, and got a court to agree that police officers can't just act out of ignorance. That's what the power in knowing your rights can do. Speaking of which, let's jump right into this last case we prepared for you. 2 Florida police officers are in a heap of trouble for pulling over Aramis Ayala. Now, Ayala ain't just any driver. She's the first black state attorney ever elected in Florida. Huge deal, right? This whole thing blew up online, with body cam footage from the Orlando PD going viral back in June. Take a look.
What agency are you with?
I'm the state attorney.
State attorney. All right. Thank you. Your tag didn't come back. Never seen that before. I'm sorry? Yeah. We're good now.
So it was...
We ran the tag. I've never seen it before. A Florida tag. It's never come back to anything before. So that's the reason for the stop.
What was the tag run for?
I'm sorry?
What was the tag run for?
Oh, we run tags all the time, whether it's at traffic lights and that sort of stuff. That's how we figure out if, cars are stolen and that sort of thing. Also, the windows were really dark. I don't have a tint measurer, but that's another reason for the stop.
Do you guys have cards on you?
Yeah, 1 second. Actually, this isn't my car, but I can write my name down if you'd like.
Yeah, you put my name.
Ready. There you are. Have a good day.
See, Ayala's been going head-to-head with Florida's Governor Rick Scott because she refused to seek the death penalty for a suspect who killed a cop. Scott wasn't exactly thrilled about that, so he cut her off from handling 24 murder cases altogether. Talk about petty. Well, Ayala ain't one to back down. This traffic stop became a whole thing, with people questioning if it was just a routine stop or something more. Ayala used this incident to push for a better relationship between the police and the community. She wanted things to be more chill, with respect on both sides. The whole situation became a national news story, with folks arguing about racial profiling and how the police act. Ayala, being the fighter she is, sued the governor over taking those cases away from her. And guess what? She won. Just goes to show what can happen when you stand up for what you believe in.